Everybody, welcome back. So today we're going to be unboxing another M70 AB2. Now, if you guys remember when I unboxed one last year, I believe I bought it from AIM Surplus at the time. You guys know the debacle of what happened with a lot of those M70 AB2s, those contractor OPT4 training rifles. Of course, I wanted one just because they were super cool. Well, I told you guys in the past about Proxibid, how you can find a lot of cool things on there. Back in the day, I paid $5.99, video in the top right up here, for that rifle. However, I stumbled across another one on Proxibid. Now, this wasn't an OPT4 rifle, or it wasn't for the joint OPT4 training. This one was just a Century Arms branded, made by DCI, Dan Coonan Industries. Those are some very well made AKs in my opinion. Now, obviously you see this box has been open. They taped it back up at the gun shop when I picked it up. But I've really not given this thing a good once over. It still has most of the bubble wrap attached or taped around it. Of course, my serial number is covered up on it. But I've really not given it a good once over. Plus, I only saw pictures of it on the auction site. So, this is one that came out of Florida. I forget what auction house it was actually through, but it was on Proxibid. But I got this one once again for $5.75, which is actually cheaper, which that's a win for me. It's a lot cheaper than what you can buy a kit build from Zastava right now. Those are really expensive. But anyway, without further ado, let's dive off into it. Let's see how nice this thing really is. I'm hoping it is nice. At least the pictures led me to believe that it was. And like I said, guys, if you want to see what the other one looked like, you can always go back and reference my video on that other M70 AB2. This is going to be fun to get out of here. It was just kind of crammed back in here after they were able to get the serial number off of it to do the transfer. There it is right there. You guys can see it. There's also a magazine in here. This is just going to be a mess. Alright, so here's the rifle. Let's get this bubble wrap off here. This is actually going to be the first real time I get a chance to take a look at it. I know I wasn't too terribly worried about it because I know the other DCI one that I bought was very nice. I know they did state that the I want to say that they stated that the folding stock was a little loose. It does appear to be a little loose, but I know how to fix that. That's not a deal killer. Alright, let's get this thing folded so we can take a real look at it. Of course, there is the tag from the auction house. Now, what's cool about this one is this one appears to be unmolested. I say that because, let me just give you a rundown real quick. This is going to be fun with the length on this thing. There's no pitting on this folding stock. My other one actually has a little bit of pitting. I'll zoom in and give you a nice close-up of that. Century International Arms, M70 AB2. Of course, the serial number does start out with M70 AB2, and then your serial number comes after that. In terms of the rivets, the rivets do not look bad. This one's a little smashed, but you know, that's not the end of the world. This is, of course, one that has the retention, and then you have this nice Zastava, I'm not even going to pronounce that because I'll butcher it, Yugoslavia. So what's nice also about this is the fact that these do not have where they had the blank firing adapters welded onto them, and it is still unneutered and has the bayonet ears. Very happy about that. But this is just a really cool rifle. Now, if you go back and compare this to my other video, you'll notice this is definitely a Century Arms added pistol or grip on it. My other one actually has the original Zastava one. Furniture, upper and lower handguard are still the same. Does have the cleaning rod, huge plus. Now on the other one, I had some really cool I guess it was laser etching on here, or paint maybe, with the rack number and all that cool stuff. This one doesn't have that because it wasn't an OPT4 rifle, which is perfectly fine. But wow, it's a little stiff. Not too bad actually. Quite dry though. Anyway, enough talking. I'm not gonna say it the way Rob Ski does, but let's take a look at it. Of course, it does have the grenade launching sight. It does have the flip up night sights. The grenade launching sight for your gas shut off. Now that one moves. That one definitely moves decidedly better than the one that was on, or that is on my M70 AB2. So you feel the positive lock. That's a lot better. That other one I had to really work it. So it looks pretty nice actually, because somebody took care of this. That's evident. There's a little nick here, white paint here, but all in all, it looks like a pretty nice rifle. I would assume this is probably not made from a matching parts kit. I really doubt it. Anyway, let's what in the world? Oh, there we go. Wow, I'm just being dumb tonight. Alrighty. I do want to. Woo! Man. You guys see that bug? Huh. I had a bug in it. Might make you think it came out of Ethiopia. There's a 589033. There is no number on that bolt, and it is absolutely nasty. Wow, that thing needs a good cleaning. Alright, let's check. Yeah, you guys can tell this thing has been shot. She is dirty and reeks of GSR, I think. Let's hold this thing up to the light. Let's take a look down that bore. I may not be able to see much because it is quite dirty. The bore, I mean, the rifling looks great, but it is dirty. That's for sure. I ain't gonna lie about that. So let's take a look as I get gunpowder residue all over me, carbon, everything else. Yeah, it's really dirty. Definitely needs a good cleaning, but honestly, the barrel doesn't look bad. No major rust, nothing like that. It's just, you can tell it's pretty dirty. So somebody shot it, that's for sure. How much? I don't really know. But I don't think it's the end of the world. We'll just clean it up really good and enjoy it. Yeah, you can see back here, it's pretty, I don't know how well you can see it. Camera will focus. Pretty gnarly. I have no clue what kind of trigger this is in here. It is not a Tapco Mark trigger. So that's a bit of an oddity. But you guys can tell she's quite dirty and has been quite dirty for quite some time. But I am super happy to get one of these in my collection. Another one of these. The reason being because my M70 AB2, that is the OPT4 rifle, I can kind of keep it as a display. I'll probably still shoot it from time to time, so don't freak out over that, guys. It's just there's certain ones that, I like to keep a little nicer than others. I totally screwed that away. And now I've got it stuck. Well, that looks like fun. Well, we're going to play with that one off camera. We're going to pause this for just a moment. Sorry about that, guys. I had to fumble with that for just a minute because I thought I had actually got that thing in a position where I wasn't going to get it back out, which maybe that isn't possible, but I wasn't real happy with it. I am having a few issues getting this dust cover to play nice. And I don't understand why, because that's not supposed to go over like that. For whatever reason, oh, I think I finally got it. There we go. So that doesn't quite fit as nicely as the other one. I will say that. Now, one thing I didn't mention is the mag. We didn't even look at the mag. I didn't even look at the mag in the store. What do we got? We have a Yugo mag. That was my knuckles. Cool. At least it's not just no cheapo. That is the last round bolt hold open. That's cool. And in good shape, you know. A few dings, a few little small nicks and rust spots here and there, but nothing terrible for sure. Let's check this off camera. Oh yeah, locks right in. And there's your last round bolt hold open. And then take the mag out. And she does exactly what she's supposed to do. So cool. I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, it was cheaper than my OPT4 rifle, but my OPT4 rifle is decidedly cooler. That's for sure. So guys, like I always say, make sure you don't forget to go find things on Proxibid. You never know what you'll find. Oftentimes, I've found some really cool things on there. So, where do you go? You go to Proxibid, or you go to Gunbroker, you know, places like that. A lot of it involves a lot of late nights searching and consuming quite a few of these energy drinks. I love those, by the way. But, you know, eventually you can stumble across what you want. And oftentimes it may not be the price you want, but, you know, that all depends. You know, it's always worth what someone's willing to pay. I just wanted to share this with you guys, give you a little friendly reminder about Proxibid. We're definitely going to be playing with this some. I'm gonna work on this wobbly stock for sure. I did have a couple of extra leftover pins from when I did my other one, when I had to do some adjustments on it because it was missing some pins. So we'll adjust this, figure out why it's loose, which I think that's a simple fix, quite honestly. But just super happy to add this to my collection. I really like these for some reason. I don't know what my problem is, but I always like the Zostava AKs. But just want to share this with you guys. I want to thank you guys to my subscriber, or send a big thank you to my subscribers. Thank you guys for all your likes, your shares, your comments. If you guys have any of these, if you have a DCI, Dan Coonan Industry made Century International Arms M70 AB2, let me know how yours looks. I'm very curious. I'm very curious to know how well that top cover fits, for sure. And if anybody knows who made the triggers for these, I'd like to know that too, because that's not a Tapco. If it is not marked. There are no markings on that trigger. So, anyway, just wanted to share this with you guys. Plenty more content on the way, as always. Thanks for watching, and until next time, you guys have a great day.